What's up, LA gangsters, American gangsters, worldwide gangsters? This is Gangsta Transform Compete TV, and my name is Peasy. Our mission is to persuade or influence people away from gangs, thus preventing killings and imprisonment. If you like our mission, please subscribe to our channel. It's totally free. Like our videos, share our videos, and leave a comment on what you might think about a particular subject, a particular profile, or particular video. Now, even though the title of my channel is Gangsta Transform Compete, my focus has always been on the street lifestyle and how all the activities within the streets can get you killed or imprisoned. These activities include drug dealing, pimping, extortion, and gang banging among others. Today I'm going to talk about drug dealing. Now, sometimes drug dealing and gang banging go hand in hand, and sometimes they don't. When I was growing up, sure, there was gang banging all around me. But I was most attracted to the drug dealers' lifestyle. They had the most money out of the before mentioned street activities. They had the flyest cars, the hottest women, and they had the tightest fits. Now, most straight gangbangers I knew, they had lint in their pockets, dirty khakis and a dirty polo t-shirt, and their women had stab wounds and gunshot markings. But the fact remains, both activities could and often did get you killed or locked up for a very long time. So we need to address drug dealers as well. Today, I'm going to profile Mr. Derrick Turner, the alleged drug kingpin of Skid Row in Los Angeles. Now, for those of you that are not from LA or not familiar with Skid Row, this is a homeless area in the east side of downtown LA. I'm going to play a video, and then I'm going to comment on that video and give my opinion.
In Los Angeles, police have arrested a man they call the drug kingpin of Skid Row. 48-year-old Derrick Turner was taken into custody before sunrise today during a major anti-gang drug operation. Turner was one of 16 people arrested during the raids. Investigators reportedly seized over $1.5 million in money along with a large quantity of cocaine.
You want your meat? You got this side too? Get this side too. Now I'm just want to make sure they keep one. You got this part too? Now you know what I look like when you cut the lights off? Look like now. Okay, you got it.
You don't get to wish anything anymore, buddy.
Because your mother kept harassing me. Your mother kept harassing me. My wife didn't like me. She thought she was my girlfriend.
occupants were called out. They voluntarily cooperated and came out. So the tactical team then goes into the residence, clears it for any other suspects that might be hiding there, make it safe for the investigators. So at this point, there'll be a transition now between tactical investigation. We'll hand the structure over to the investigators, and they'll actually come through and do a detailed search for it.
Okay, that was a little bit of the information alleged against Mr. Turner from one time. And also, it is alleged that in total of the 16 people arrested under Mr. Turner's case, there was a total amount of 13 kilos of Yeyo seized, 22 pounds of methamphetamine, and 20 pounds of heroin, allegedly. This included $600,000 in $1 bills found in Mr. Turner's house, allegedly. So let's get into it. People, if you're out there still trying to hustle in these streets, still trying to sell drugs, at this point, if you don't know, you need to understand that it's a wash. The drug game is over. The drug game is a wash. It doesn't matter if you're as big as El Chapo or as small as the dude on the corner selling 10s and 20s. The drug game is a wash for many different reasons. Number one, the drug game is a nasty business. You see, when a person takes a drug, it alters their thinking, it alters their actions, it alters their comprehension, it alters their responses, it alters everything about them. So when you take drugs and you get caught, which is what usually happens to a lot of junkies on the street for one reason or another, whether it be they get caught doing the drugs at the time, or whether they get caught for trying to keep their habit up by stealing, by robbing, by doing whatever it takes to make a couple dollars to keep that habit going. So yeah, eventually they're gonna get caught. And when they get caught, what usually happens is one time we'll press them. And these people cannot stand up to that type of press. Okay? When they get locked up, sure, they can get a certain amount of drugs and so forth, but usually it's not gonna be the same amount of what they had on the street. So now they're going through withdrawals. So now they're sick. They're not feeling good. They're desperate. They're going through all this pain and emotions. And so, yes, they are going to talk. They are going to get threatened with a bunch of time unless you give up your source, because one time's objective is to climb the ladder to see who is the head supplier, who is the top supplier in any type of situation. So they're gonna talk, okay? They're gonna snitch, okay? This is a reason why the old school mafia heads stayed away from the drug business, because they knew the effects of the drugs on the people on the street, and they knew that the people would eventually start talking. And when one person talks, another person talks, another person talks, and next thing you know, they're climbing that ladder to get the person that's supplying. Okay? So someone always gonna snitch. For one reason or another, someone is always gonna snitch. And you have these drug laws, okay, that were introduced by Biden and others, okay, that make crack cocaine and so forth 100 times worse in the court of law than powder cocaine, because they know that minorities deal in crack and so forth. So for all of those people who went out there and just voted for Biden because he was a Democrat, you need to look at the actual person that you're voting for and not the party. But I don't want to get sidetracked. A lot of prisons were built. A lot of people were incarcerated under these drug laws. And Biden was front and center pushing those drug laws. But back on topic. Okay? When you press a junkie or even a low-level drug dealer with these drug laws, they're gonna snitch. They don't want to go to prison. They're scared, and they're gonna tell. And they're gonna lead them right to you. So it's important that people understand that this is a game that is done, that is a wash. A lot of people made a lot of money back in the 80s and 90s in LA. They went out to different states, took over areas, and so forth and so on. And a lot of people made a lot of money. And some people got away. Some people were able to, get out the game, wash their money, and move on. But a lot of people did not. That's why a lot of prisons were and are being built to house these drug offenders. Yeah, non-violent, none the least, but still, they want to lock you up. The motive is to lock you up anyway, so if you give them a reason to do that, then so be it. Okay? You have these drug laws that just really, really devastated a lot of communities, a lot of families. And a lot of these people, especially addicts on the street, they need help. They need programs. They need assistance in dealing with this illness. It's an illness. A lot of these people get hooked, and it's an illness, people. And they need help. They don't need to be locked up. They're going to still be able to get a certain amount of drugs inside. So how is that helping the situation? How is that helping the person that needs help? Well, sure, it helps the corporations that build these prisons, and it helps the politicians that want to lock minorities up. Yeah, it helps their agenda. But what about on the people's side? How does it help them? It doesn't, people. It doesn't. So I want young people to understand that fast money is not the way. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you want to have a long, free, peaceful, happy life, then you need to put the drug game down. You need to move into a legit business. And I used to tell people all the time, if you are smart enough to run a drug operation, you are smart enough to start your own business. Just redirect your energy into something positive. That is not going to get you locked up. That is not going to get you killed. That is not going to get your family members kidnapped. There's so many stories I could tell about the nastiness of the drug business. But the point is, people, it's all negative. Now, Mr. Turner received 11 years in prison for this case. How he got 11 years, I don't know. But that's a whole nother subject. I'm not gonna go down that road. But with the amount of drugs caught, anyway, you know where I'm going with that. So people, let's stay on the right side of the law so that we do not put ourselves in the trap. I mean, you got people running around talking about trap game, trap game. You know it's a trap, but yet you keep doing it. It's almost like people have the intelligence of a mouse. You know, it's like, okay, I don't know that if I go eat this cheese, I'm gonna get killed. So the mouse goes and eats the cheese. He doesn't know any better. And the mouse trap takes him out. Well, people, we're human beings. We know how to rationalize. We know how to comprehend. We know how to observe and see what's going on around us and in society. And we know what the drug game leads to, which is why they call it a trap game, but yet people are still doing it. So how does that make you look if you continue to do something that you know is a trap that can take you out of the game or out of the world? So how does that make sense, people? How does that make sense? Put the drugs down, wash that money, buy some real estate, start a business, invest in some stocks, some bonds. These are the legal avenues that will draw in a lot of money, people. Business ownership, real estate speculation, stock speculation, just to name a few. Learn these games. You can learn the drug game, then you can learn other games. Legal game. This is Gangsta Transform Compete TV, and my name is Peasy. Our mission is to persuade people away from the street lifestyle, the gangster's lifestyle, the drug dealer's lifestyle, the pimping lifestyle, the extortion lifestyle, so that we can keep y'all out of prison and out of the grave. If you like our channel, please subscribe. It's totally free. Like our videos, share our videos, and leave a comment. God bless.